You're watching Good Morning Nigeria live on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. We are onto our second conversation this morning. And Jaiz Bank PLC is Nigeria's pioneer non-interest bank, and the bank's balance sheet has grown from around 12 billion naira in 2012 to nearly 62 billion naira in 2022, with, of course, asset financing of over 30 billion naira.
Yes, and Jaiz Bank has been in business for a decade and seeks to deepen its alternative model of financing, and that's Islamic banking. The bank is the first Islamic bank in the world to break even within the first 3 years in operation and has won notable international and local accolades, among which are the most improved Islamic banking awards in 2020 and 2021 respectively, and are from the Global Islamic Finance Awards, GIFA.
Well, joining us in the studios now to talk more about the 10th anniversary of the bank is the Managing Director and CEO of Jaiz Bank, Hassan Usman. We're glad to have you on Good Morning Nigeria.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigeria.
Right. 10 years down the road, how's it been for Jaiz?
Well, 10 years has been very eventful for the bank, and we thank the Almighty God for all the success we have recorded. We thank Nigerians for accepting this model of financing, which is further diversifying the economy, providing financial inclusion. It is a system that is based on partnering, sharing risk, and it's neutral to what faith you profess, because it's the contracts and the interactions is neutral. Anybody, whether Muslim or non-Muslim, Christian, the tribe is not the basis. It's a business. As if when you go into the market, what you do is you want to buy things. You don't ask who is selling. You just look for what you want to buy, and the price is right, the quality is good, and you buy. So in 10 years, we have been able to prove that the concept is workable. It is something that can make a lot of difference to financial inclusion, especially for those who would otherwise try to avoid interest with all the issues around interest and lending. It is a system that thrives in sharing risk and return, partnering with your customers and counterparties so that you can generate returns and share the risk of the business. Within these 10 years, we've grown from a 3-branch bank to over 45 branches nationwide. Our balance sheet, as you have stated, has grown from just 12 billion to over 300, not 30 billion, 300 billion. Yes, 300 billion. Also, our financing has grown from zero to over 200 billion. Our deposits have grown to over 200 billion. We have been able to, within this period, to finance corporations, more than 4,000 corporations, more than 5,000 SMEs. Our financing to the private sector, the real economy, and especially to SME, is over 60 billion. Our support to agriculture within this period, over 75 billion. So though a very humble beginning, our impact to especially those at the bottom of the pyramid has been great. For example, we have been able to include rural women on a pilot basis, financing them on equity basis, over 6,000 women, providing them with seed capital to do their business. And this experiment has proved to be very productive. The level of default has been quite manageable, and the impact in particular in terms of changing the life of these rural women and ensuring that they also send their children to school, because women in the rural areas are major contributor to how the family is managed, and especially how children go to school. So all of these impacts, we believe, can even be more. We think that given an economy that is growing with all the challenges, we could even do better looking the next 10 years ahead.
All right. Your bank has been in operation for 10 years now, and it has won notable international and local accolades. Right. What would have been their basis for the judgment? What are the critical areas that they evaluated? In the operation of the bank that made you to win all those accolades. Are there some specifics? That the areas that you did very well that perhaps the conventional banking system has not been able to attain?
Well, in our segment, world over, we have been considered as one of the most improved. Our balance sheet has been growing at more than 20% per annum. Our profitability over the last 5 years has been growing more than 35%. As I mentioned, year on year, our contribution to the economy and to government corpus has also been significant. So those are some of the criteria that have been taken into consideration, and comparing us with other banks of similar persuasion, the similar type of business. That's the non-interest banking globally, and that is how we came as the most improved year on year for the last 2 years.
Is Jaiz a global bank or just a Nigerian bank?
It's a Nigerian bank, but in the context of Islamic finance or non-interest banking is compared to other similar institutions across the globe.
Tell our viewers, how does Islamic banking or non-interest banking work?
Well, a non-interest bank or an Islamic bank is like a trading house. Basically, you come to the bank. Typically, those who are used to conventional banking, they come and ask for a loan. And we ask, what do you need this money for? So the person said, I want to buy a machinery to manufacture. So we buy the machinery and we lease. And so we don't give our counterparties cash. We rarely do that, except when we are actually partners that is investing in their business as equity holders. Otherwise, in the 70% or 80% of the financing we do, we sell, we lease. These are the common contracts that we have. So financing, which is deferring the payment, is the secondary aspect. The primary way that we provide financing is to sell what you are looking for, or we lease. So in our own business, it's rare for somebody to collect the money and misuse, or to get into trouble because he has taken an overdraft and then misallocates it. Whatever you require, we will be able to buy. So the use of the funding that you are looking for is certain, is known, and we can see that we are contributing to the real economy, because whatever you are looking for, someone has to manufacture it or someone has to produce it. If it is labor type of services, you say, for example, you want to go for a surgery, so we hire the doctor's hours, we pay for the doctor, and then he perform the operations. So we don't allow customers to handle the cash directly. We provide what they will use cash to buy. So we provide those services on credit basis.
I'm just wondering.
How do you not get to money back? I mean, you buy the machinery, lease it to the customer, and the customer deploys this machinery
and
in the production, and he'll be paying to you either on monthly basis or weekly basis, as case maybe.
Exactly.
So from there you make your money.
Yes.
Now, after that transaction, would the bank have grown in terms of making any gains from that process?
Yes. So when we buy, say you need a house, we buy the house, say 10 million naira, and then we lease to you on a rate, say 15%, 18% rental that you will pay. And then you will also be buying the house So any installment that we agree that you pay, a portion of it is to buy the house gradually, like owner occupier, and then a portion of it will be to pay for the rent, which is our profit for investing in the house.
Okay, well, obviously you're involved in leasing, you are involved in mortgage, you are involved in other aspects. Is it possible for you to cite any of the postal companies that you have done business with and therefore is thriving? Because the aspect of machinery leasing or machinery purchase is particularly critical for the manufacturing subsector of the economy. So what are the postal institutions that say, look, these guys came to us and this is what we did, and this is the knock-on effect?
What usually happens is that the manufacturer who is more enlightened in his business knows the best type of machine. So the bank does not just go and buy any machine. We do this purchase with you as the manufacturer. So you identify the equipment. We do our investigation around the quality and around the reputation of the company. When we are satisfied, then we order and buy. We work together with the manufacturer. We order, buy, and then installation is made. The customer is retained as our agent to work with us to ensure that he gets this machinery and he get the installation the way he would want it, so there will not be any complaint. So we don't keep just one manufacturer. We encourage competition around our vendors. We don't force a customer to take any product from any particular vendor. The customer has a say in what type of product.
But the firm has to maintain an account with your institution. That's to say, if I'm a manufacturer, for instance, and you have financed some new equipment for my production lines, to be sure that the returns do get in and are not frittered away elsewhere, I have to maintain an account with you. Is that correct?
Yes, the person who is the beneficiary of the machinery, not necessarily the manufacturer of the machinery. Okay. The manufacturer of machinery may be in China, maybe in the US. They don't have to maintain an account with us, but we must do our investigation to ensure that that machinery, because we are the one buying. The difference between us and conventional is that the conventional gives loan of money. We are responsible for the asset. So this is an added risk we are taking and a benefit to the customer. The customer is assured that what we buy and give him has gone through a process. It's not just, it gives some confidence to the customer rather than him just taking cash and then buying something that may turn out to be suboptimal.
Okay, now, do you offer fixed deposit services? A situation where someone could just deposit some amount of money in your bank, and after some months, based on agreed, the agreement with the customer, he gets some money on a monthly basis for depositing in your bank. And yes. Another aspect is whether do you support export business now that Nigerians are clamoring for non-oil export, and many Nigerians are involved in the export of, for instance, food items and other processed commodities. Is your bank supporting export in any way?
Yes. Every activity under the sun, so long as the product is not harmful to the society, we partake. Our export desk is very active. We have customers exporting cocoa, sesame seed. We have customers that we support processing skin, hide and skin, to process, add value and export it to Europe. So we have a growing export business that is going to be more active in ensuring that we work with customers to add value to what they are exporting, i.e. to get the necessary machinery that will process rather than just exporting primary products.
What, in your opinion, have been the most challenging aspect of Islamic banking operation in Nigeria in a decade?
Well, within the decade, the beginning is the question of awareness and a lack of understanding of the fact that this is just another form of financing, which is neutral to individual differences. That was a problem, but this is gradually giving way, because as people come of different persuasion and they test the product, they see the difference, they see how we care about our customers' success, because if they don't succeed, we fail. So that has started to give way to the misunderstanding around the product itself. But again, continuous awareness is a challenge. At the beginning, also we had issues with financial infrastructure, which is necessary for any financial system. You needed to have complementary facilities like money market products that the system provides for conventional, which was not there until about 5-6 years after we started. Then we had the first sovereign school, which made some difference to the operations of non-interest banking in Nigeria, because it provided the base product upon which other corporations can also build or make as a reference point. It defined the yield that is required. So some of these challenges have started to give way, and we can see that there is a lot of promise for this type of.
All right, and I'm sure anybody can open an account with the Jaiz Bank, whether you are a Muslim or non-Muslim and what have you. And I'm sure you are doing business with people from all parts of the country.
Yes, that's true. Right. The business, like I said, is neutral. Like going to the market, everybody goes to the market and people buy from different type of persons. So when you come to the bank, either as a prospective employee or a customer, we don't ask about your
religion. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Managing Director, Jaiz Bank, Hassan Usman, I'd like to thank you for being here today. 10th anniversary. We wish you many more years of success in the non-interest banking subsector. Thank you for coming to our program.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
It's Good Morning Nigeria, and we're just about having time now to say our goodbyes for today. Thank you for being with us. Join us again tomorrow, same time, 7 in the morning. I'm Kingsley Osadolo.
And I'm Kieran Umaya. See you.